Hiya, it's LindaLee, and I thought I would come on and give you kind of a little bit of a progress on what I'm doing with the Floral Motivational Journal that I've just started. I know I haven't done too much of it yet on camera, but I am working on it. I do have all the papers and pages pulled. I did pull a bunch of them out because I needed to do some coffee treatment on one page. These are all the pages that already had some kind of coffee staining or avocado staining done to them. But what I wanted to show you is the papers that I wanted to use when I pulled them were actually cardstock, a lot of them. And rather than, I didn't really want to put cardstock in the pages part of it, I'm going to reserve the cardstock to the signature covers and some pocket pages so that they're a little sturdier. So what I did is I made photocopies on my printer. And the printer itself gave me this little white border. I haven't figured out if I'm going to take that border off yet or not. But it left me with a stark white backside. So what I did is I took my little coffee sprayer and sprayed the backside because it was a stark white piece of paper. So I've got some coffee staining. It's not bright white anymore, but some of the ink actually bled through too. So now I have some distressing on the backside of the pages I wasn't expecting. But isn't that cool? So the ink smeared a little bit. Okay, you can see a little color variation just from the water soaking through, and it pulled it to the other side. So I have some distressing that I kind of wasn't expecting. So it didn't happen so much on this paper. This actually, I was running out of ink. This is what came out. So it's almost like a stencil. So I'm using it. You know, even though it's not anywhere near what it was, you know, intended to look like, it looks perfect for what I'm using. So I sprayed the backside with some coffee so that it's not white, and a little bit of the pink came through. So it's almost like it's stenciled on the other side. Now this one I might spray on this side very lightly because this side is still kind of on the bright white side. So I've got two other pages that are like this. I'm doing 3 signatures so far. Not sure. I need to edit. You know how you pull everything and then you kind of have to edit back? Well, I need to edit. So this here was, it looked more like this. This here, it turned a little on the greener side after I sprayed it. But look at the back side. Is that not perfect? So the distressing that I'm going to do isn't going to be as much because I've already got some here just through the process of doing the finger painting, the coffee dye. So I'm going to come through with my, my script stamp and the stencil. But isn't that cool? Oh, and this here was all brown. So what I did is I made a photocopy of an 1930s music that I have. And I just really kind of liked how the tape photocopied, and I have my little torn edges. But in spraying it with water, it gave me quite a variation in the color of paper, which I'm loving. And on the back side, I've got some music. So this is still slightly damp. It's gonna dry a little bit, but I don't think the coloring is really gonna change. At least not by very much. But what an awesome, happy accident. This is just a white piece of paper that's been sprayed. This here, another piece of that wallpaper paper. What? Yeah. I'm really happy that that happened. So that's where I'm at with the pages. So now once these are all completely dry, I need to reinsert them into this here. Everything's kind of sort of in a specific order. See, this side is stained with coffee and this side is not yet. At least not intentionally. Whatever came through is from the other side. So, but let me show you what else I've been doing. I ventured into the world of fussy cutting last night, and I can see now why this pair of scissors isn't the best pair. I probably, if I'm going to do fussy cutting on a more regular basis, I'm going to need some tiny scissors. But I kind of really like the way they turned out. Look at, can you see? I'm going to delay here just to let the feed catch up so I can see what you're seeing. And there it is. Perfect. So yeah, I left a little white border around it so that I can lightly distress, you know, with a vintage photo probably, because that's a nice soft color. So I have the fussy cutting, and I'll just update you with what's in the box now because I've added some stuff. This is the seed packet that's cut out. I need to do some distressing. These are going to be the signature covers that I'm going to collage on. And in my box I have a whole bunch of stuff that I've just added from different envelopes that I've received. I got some, I already snipped this. I was going to maybe use this on the cover. More than likely I'll color treat that. You might recognize this from some of my Happy Mail that I had in the last couple days. I've got some really cool paper. I think this might be too tall, so I'll have to trim that a little bit. And I have, this is the stencil that I'm going to use. And I did pull some pieces of fabric. I'm not sure if I'm going to use them or not yet, but they kind of work with my colors. I don't know. I have lots of fabric. These are just pieces that were in my Queen mail. So I just pulled them because I was putting everything else away and I wanted to keep this kind of available. This here, this little piece of screen, I'm going to use it as a stencil. You'll see that when I do it. And remember, this here is my color palette. And this here is a card that got sent to me by Kelly, which is the same exact colors. And we have those nice little gold flecks. I have an envelope, where is it, that I received in Queen mail yesterday. Oh, where is it? Oh, we'll come over it, I'm sure, because I know I set it aside in here. Oh, here it is. So it's also got the gold. You already saw these. I'll put these down with the other fussy cuts. I had one little piece of leaves, so we're gonna put that in. Also in my Queen mail, I've got some really pretty botanical, here, let's grab this real quick, botanical vellums that actually also have gold. So I'm not sure how or where, but I might use a little bit of this too, because I have so many to choose from. And then I also have papers of the same vellum. So I don't know if I'll just use the paper or if I'll use the vellum pieces, but both of them have the gold outlining. Aren't they awesome? Look at that. This one says eggplant, so I probably won't use that one because this one is floral. It's not, you know, literally garden. But I have these. Some newer appliques that I just got from Kelly's shop. And sorry about that. I was getting a phone call, but I'm back. Hopefully it's still recording. But as I was saying, I just got some additional little tiny tags. What else? The little fibers that I got in my Queen mail. I got lots of stuff. So I'm going to have to edit down, that's for sure. An envelope that I had in my stash that I had already, you know, put together. Some journaling card stuff. This is the card stock that I photocopied for the other pages. Little pieces of ephemera and whatnot for the pockets. Some of them I received in Happy Mails, past ones, and some of them I had. I did do some coffee staining on the CD covers and the gas checks, and little pieces of paper that I'll probably use for journal cards. Some faux postcard type of stuff, just to pull in some vintage, even though they're not necessarily botanical, but isn't that pretty? So I'll probably give these a little bit of coffee staining, and a couple of cards with flowers, and the seam binding that I got from Kelly. So I like to keep it in Ziplocs, and what I usually do is push all the air out. I think the air has kind of found its way back in. But what I like to do is push all the air out because it holds the wrinkles in and it doesn't take up as much space, you know, while it's stored. But I actually got more stuff in here still. So like I said, I'm going to have to edit things down. But this is the threads that I got from Bygones. I have some bridge card scorecards to alter, a real postcard that I'm going to insert, a couple of envelopes. This one's just the color works, and a seed packet type of thing. I have some other die cuts that I've received that I may incorporate. So I got that from the die cutters. Actually, I got this from the die cutters too. And then the doilies. I'm actually going to use the doilies that the seam binding came through because they're already folded. So I'm going to use those in some signatures. And everything else I think you've already seen. I've got some scrappy pieces that I'm going to make into, you know, a tablet for her listing pleasures. And then this here I still haven't inked. So I've still got a lot of little stuff to do before I start really doing any real decorating. But like I said, I haven't been really here on camera showing you too much. Not yet. So here I am. And you kind of can see where I'm going. So that's it for now. I'm going to, the little tiny beads. And I put some little gold ones in there so I can make some charms. But I'm going to end this particular video and maybe pick up this afternoon with some more. With actually doing something instead of it just being a show and tell. So enjoy the rest of your day. Thanks for hanging out, and I will see you in the next video. Take care, be safe.